Conference volleyball in the San Diego section. It's PlayOnSports.com pregame show live from Olympian High School in San Diego, California. I'm Thomas Conroy along with Ed Alcaraz on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. This afternoon features the visiting Hilltop Lancers taking on the host, Olympian Eagles. Hilltop comes in today's contest with an overall record of 11-7, while the home team, the Olympian Eagles, is 8-13. And Ed, quickly, we kind of, off air, we talked about both teams kind of struggling right now, trying to find their identities. Olympian coming in on a 6-game losing streak, and Hilltop loses 4 of their last 5 games. It's really going to see which team can kind of get some consistency and focus on the game early on.
This match today is definitely going to be about both teams. Who's ever got the want, who's ever really going to want to pull this out. Both of them coming from the Mesa division of the South Bay Conference. You've got one that's, as you mentioned, Olympian, I should say. Losers of 6 straight and 4 of 6 for Hilltop. You got to imagine, if anything, you want to get back to the basics. You want to try to pull this match out. But I got a feeling we're in for a good one. That's my prediction here so far. This is going to be hard fought from both sides.
And both teams look like they're about ready to get going here, so we're going to keep it here as the match looks like it's about ready to start. Referees looking over the final lineup sheets that were given by both coaching staffs. And it looks like we're underway here as Olympia serves to Hilltop. Shot goes over the net, and a nice kill attempt there by number 2 for Hilltop, Hannah Teague, but brought back over by Olympian for the point.
And there, just being in the right place at the right time. You had Jillian Allegre there among others, able to get that from Lennon on their side of the court as they quickly go up by 1.
Quickly, Olympian in the black tops and shorts, while Hilltop in their green and black. And here comes the serve by Hilltop. As it goes in the middle of the field, Olympian now trying to send it over across. They do complete that. Trying to set up there is number 2, Teague. Teague sends it back over. Now Olympia sends it back over. Can't quite come up with it is Hilltop number 12, Marissa Davis, and another point for the Olympian Eagles.
Up 2-0 here pretty quick are the Eagles. And there, Marissa Davis giving it all she's got, having to go away from the net. Not able to come up with setting her team up for the point.
Vanessa Pygau with the serve now. Hilltop trying to send it over the net. They do. Quickly set up now the Eagles. Nice shot in the middle of the court. Picked up by the Hilltops and running away from the ball. A little miscommunication with Bridget Young. As that ball came towards her, she went away from it. Miscommunication on the front line there early on for Hilltop. Pygau now with the serve. Sends it in the middle. And it goes off the arms of Vasquez, out of bounds. Can't get it over is Hilltop. So right now a little miscommunication by the Lancers on the court there. Everybody kind of standing around flat-footed, not going after the ball, attacking the ball.
That's what it seems like so far. They don't seem to be in sync in any way, shape, or form.
Pygau serves the ball into the net, so that'll be turnover. Service to the Lancers as they trail 3-2 to the home Eagles.
And here's Hannah Teague for the serve. Let's see if she can get her team on the board.
Teague, good shot. Back line now. Libero trying to get it up for Olympia, and it looked like it got on top of the net, so it will be point for the Lancers. You believe possibly number 7 for Olympian. The freshman Kaylee Jordan touched the net there for the foul. Off the serve, Jordan now trying to get it reset back up to the back line, and it went long. Point goes to Hilltop.
And there, the rhythm that we were talking about kind of seems to have jumped to the net from the Eagles over to the Lancers. And here's Teague with the serve.
Hannah now middle court. Jordan now trying to set up her front court mate. Now she moves up to the front, and she tried to get it over the net, but double block there. Nicely done there by number 8 and number 9 for Hilltop, Flowers and Carrasco, to put it back into Jordan's face for another point.
Yeah, Kaylee Jordan there trying to get the ball over, but the defense for the Lancers denies her.
Serve goes to the back line, goes over the net by the Eagles. Here comes Hilltop now trying to set up Vasquez, who gets it over the net. The libero sends it back over for Olympian. Back line now, Lancers send it to the far line. Set up in the middle now, and Olympian trying to clear it out to the back line. And that was Johar Karan. And I believe she did not get the point. Nope, referee gives it back to Hilltop, just missing the back line, but good attempt there by Johar. Served by the Lancers now, back line. Sending it to the back line, just in front of the back line was Jillian Allegaire, and she gets the point, the senior does, for Olympian.
And there, nothing fancy. Goes up, gets the ball over, and they get the point. Do the Eagles, as they're going to get the serve here.
Johar Karan now with the serve. Picked up by the libero Duplessis. Sends it now across the net and right in front of the server, Karan, for the point. As she tried to come up with it, could not.
And there, Emily Vasquez setting up. Getting it over, and there was nobody there to answer for the Eagles.
Lances with the serve. Jordan now picks it up. Nice dig. Trying to set it up in the middle where we get a whistle. And
not quite sure there what was
I don't
called.
know what happened there, but they gave the point to Hilltop. And there goes a shot now left right in front of the net and put back down by Nicholas for the Lancers for a point. And now we're going to get a quick timeout here by the Olympian coach, Valerie Sapara, as her team trails 9-4 right here on PlayOnSports.com's coverage of Metro Conference Volleyball.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here? Then tell your school to sign up for the Play on Sports school broadcast program. The program allows schools to broadcast all of their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Thomas Conroy right back here with Ed Alcaraz here as we're at Olympian High School for the Lancers versus the Eagles here. The Eagles trail, the hometown team, or the home team of the Olympian Eagles trail 9-4 here as the Lancers get back on the court. And the ball now, the service will remain with the Lancers.
And one of the things we've seen here so far, the front line for the Lancers has seemed to have been up to the task after they got off to a rocky start.
Flowers' serve goes way wide right in front of the Olympians' bench there. Service goes back over to the Eagles as they trail by 4, 9-5.
You got the Lancers setting up on a 3-3 over here.
Allegra now will serve. Jillian Allegra, the senior. Her serve goes over the net now, trying to set it up. And nice save there by Vasquez. They get the ball over to the Lancers. Now Olympian puts it back over. Oh, nice setup there by number 12, Marissa Davis. Vasquez just out of position. Could not kill that shot.
Could not get it over. Kind of started tailing away for it near to the table where we're at over here. Just not able to get it back over the net.
Eagles, nice shot, nice dig there by the Lancers. The ball goes down to the back line, and it goes off of the arm of number 4 for Olympia. That's Pygau for the point for Hilltop, and they lead it now 10-6.
Yeah, Vanessa Pygau there, unable to handle the ball and get it back over her side of the net as her team is trailing here 10-6.
Served now by the Lancers, back line. Olympia now trying to move it up. Nice setup there for 17. And Benavides could not get it over the net as it stuck on the top and stayed on Olympia's side for the point for the Hilltop Lancers. And they lead now 11-6. Served now by Carrasco. Goes off of Jordan and out of bounds. Cannot capture it of the Eagles. And another mini run here by Hilltop as they lead it now 12-6 over Olympian. Carrasco with the serve, gets it to the back line. Lobaro saves it for Olympian. Trying to set it up and trying to get it over the net, but nice kill there. Great timing by number 4 for Hilltop. That was Emily Nicholas. She timed her shot perfectly and got that ball before it came on the other side of the net. Nicely done.
There creating a green wall with her was Marissa Davis.
And a nice ace there by Carrasco for another point. 14-8 now, Hilltop.
It seems Carrasco seems to have the magic touch. She keeps the serve for the Lancers here.
Jordan now sending the kill opposite court. Great shot there right in front of Carrasco, who could not come up with it. And the point goes to Olympian. And more importantly, they break service. And Jordan now will begin her serve.
That was a heck of a spike there right in front of Carrasco. One hopped her to get the serve and the point.
Jordan now with the serve back line. Hilltop now trying to set it up. They got to get it over the net. They do. Back line for Olympian. Now for the setup in the middle. And the shot by number 4 is nicely done for the point. Vanessa Pygau. They set her up beautifully. The libero for Olympian for the point.
And there, Pygau up and over. Nothing too fancy about that as they keep serve. And they cut in to the Hilltop's lead of 6 here in the first set.
Yeah, you like to get a couple of points here just to break the momentum of Hilltop as Jordan sends it over the net. Trying to now get it over, cannot. Looked like it kind of misdirection there from Marissa Davis. She had to go opposite and went away from her, the ball. So another point for the Eagles, just like that. The freshman doing her job now as she gets it over the net, but that time her serve cannot stay in the court as it's a little bit long. So service goes back over to Hilltop.
Just a little bit outside the lines there, but you got to admire what Jordan was thinking. As she found a spot that no one else was on the court, just a little bit outside.
Vasquez now with the serve, gets it over. Play at the net now, goes back to the back line of Olympian. The libero sends it over in the middle of the court. Picking it up are the Lancers. Here comes the kill for number 2, Teague. Cannot get it as it went right in. She tried to cross-court it. Couldn't get it over the top of that net, and she loses the point. Lauren Silver, the libero is ready to serve. Hilltop now trying to get it over. Free, if they get it over, they do. And there goes the 50-50 ball, and I think it hit the, Galindez hit the front of just the bottom of the net as he got that ball over. So that's a net violation. Service goes back over to Hilltop.
And with the ref right there, right on top of the action.
And she's got like a high level, she's high atop, so she can see that easily. Service now by Hilltop, and too many shots. They had to get it over in 3, and they did not accomplish that. Hilltop, so they gave up service, and it goes back to Olympian. They trail only by 5, Ed, 16-11.
And when just a few minutes ago, it seemed like the Lancers, everything was going their way after what I'd mentioned to be a rocky start.
Service goes over now. Teague trying to kill it, and she does. Yep. No, she does not. She hit there's 2 little sticks kind of sticking out of the net, and that indicates where the line is, and it clearly hit on the outside, so that would be like hitting the line, so you lose service. Lancers now trying to get over the net. They do, as it just skims the top of it. Setting up now the Eagles' backline shot. Goes over the net. Good service now as the Eagles trying to get it over. They do. Lancers trying to tip it over. Cannot. Great set shot there by number 4, Pygau again. She's picking up her play, and she's doing a nice job there, putting the ball back on the other side for another point.
Eagles have taken a big chunk out of the lead that was once as big as 8, down to 3.
Off the serve now. Hilltop has to get it over. They do. The libero now puts it up high. They're trying to set up Pygau. She gets it right over the front line with a little soft tip for the point. Backline has to read that, come in a little bit, Ed. They did not.
They did not, and flat-footed there, unfortunately unable to come up and make the play was Evelyn Martinez. They were able to just drop it in where nobody was.
Lagassa now with the serve for Olympian, gets it over. Teague now trying to kill it, put back in her face nicely there by Jillian Allegre for the point.
And there, the senior, Jillian Allegre, able to come up to the net.
And how do you like that? 16-15.
I tell you, we got a ball game here.
And you think about it, Ed, you were just talking about it. It was 14-8. And as you said, it looked like complete domination by the Lancers. And now they've gone on a nice run here Olympian to get it back within 1. Here comes the serve. Back line now to the Lancers. Trying to get over the net, and looks like that's a carryover by Pygao. Gotta use the tip of your fingers. She kind of controlled it with probably her whole finger, so they're gonna call that on her.
And there, one of the team captains, Vanessa Pygao, got caught with her fingers over the net. And they're gonna go ahead and give the point over to Hilltop.
Marissa Davis now will serve. Good serve, front line. As Olympian now trying to set it up. Shot on the back line does not go. A little too long by Joe Hare.
And you can kind of equate this right now, where we are at 18-15 in favor of Hilltop is just kind of two fighters slugging it out in the middle of the ring as we've gone back and forth with the points.
Back line shot now. Olympian has to get it over in 3. They do. Lancers now trying to set up the front line, and they send up Flowers, but the shot is saved. Nice dig there by Olympian. Backline shot, great dig there by the Libero for the Hilltop. Sent it to the back line, set up now. Pygao trying to send it over the net. She does. Here comes the setup for Teague. She's trying to get that back line and went off the fingertips of Karam for the point for Hilltop.
And there Teague trying to keep serve for her team, able to get the job done. There a little bit of breathing room for the Lancers as we're back up to 19-15.
Olympian Eagles trailed 19-15 here on PlayOnSports.com. Let's just stay here quickly for a minute, Ed. You call a timeout. Is that a good timeout by Olympian? Because you got back in the game and now you're giving up 3 quick points. Is that a smart timeout by the coaching staff?
I think so. I think at this point, like you said, they're just kind of not really breaking away with it. Is Hilltop? I think for Olympian to give up those couple of points pretty quick too, just bang bang. I think it was a good point to call a timeout, maybe regroup, maybe give somebody a chance to get a breather, and they look to be ready to go here as Hilltop is back out in formation. And let's see if that timeout worked for the Eagles here as they're looking to claw back into this, and by no means necessary is this set in anybody's favor is what we've seen so far here.
Marissa Davis getting ready now to serve for Hilltop. She sends it to the front line right in front of Pygao. Boy, that was a tough serve. Came at her awfully quick, and she reacted, tried to react. Her react time lagged a little bit, and it's now 20-15 Lancers.
And there the outside hitter, Pygao, unable to come up with anything.
Good read by Pygao that time as Davis's serve goes long. So Hilltop loses their service, goes over to Olympian, and they gain a point now, only trailing by 4 at 20-16. Pygao will be the server. And now we're having a substitution as Monica Lee leaves for the Eagles, and coming back in is Khalil Jordan, the freshman. Off the serve now. Lancers trying to set it up. They get it over the net, and it's a little bit long. Flat-footed shot there by Teague, and it's another point for Olympian, and now they trailing by 3, 20-17.
As you said, Teague, just a flat-footed shot. Just a bit wide.
Backline serve now by Pygao. Teague again trying to set it up. Nicely blocked by Jordan at the net. Olympian has to get the ball over. They set Jordan back up. Her shot just a little bit long. We got good view right at our table here, and that ball, I do agree with the official, that was a little bit long, but nice attempt there by Jordan.
Just a little bit, because we're going to have Teague here with a serve, and getting back to Jordan, that was definitely a refresher. She came back in, and
wow, that was a low serve by Marissa Davis. Not exactly something, or excuse me, Hannah Teague, and she sends the service right back over to Olympian, and they trail only by 3.
And they're the backs to 2 of the backs of her front line. Didn't seem like anybody was really paying attention.
Boy, off the serve, Karam. Teague sent it up a little bit soft over the net. Jordan reacted quickly and put that ball right back on a kill on the other side for the point for the Eagles. Nice play by the freshman. 21-19, Eagles trail now by 2.
And what was smart play earlier in this set seems to have become the weakness for Hilltop is that front line.
Karam gets an ace right in front of the Libera for Hilltop, number 10, Duplessis, as she could not react in time. Another point for the Eagles. They trail now by 1.
Very well-placed serve there. As Duplessis had no choice. She attempted to dig it out. Wasn't able to do it.
Karam gets the service over now. Hilltop trying to set it up. Back line, nice dig there by the Eagles. Pygao goes to back line. Saved there by the Libero. Picked up by the Lancers. They got to get it over in 3. Here comes Teague's shot. It's going to be long. Let's see. No, they're going to say it is in. Hilltop got the point. Both officials looked at each other and kind of had to wait for a minute to see what it was. But
unfortunately, from our angle, we weren't able to get a good view of that. But we're going to go ahead and go with the ref on that one.
22-20 now. Hilltop gets the service over now. Eagles send it back over. Nice setup there by number 4, Nichols, as she puts it in, and she got the point as she got to the far corner as Jordan let that one go, but it did catch the back line, and it's in. 23-20 now, Hilltop.
They can kind of sense that they're getting their rhythm back, just 2 points away from taking this first set here in this ball game.
Flowers with the serve. Eagles has to get it over. Jordan out gets it between 2 defenders. Saved by the Lancers. Cross court now. Lancers send it over the net. Here comes a good volley now as the Eagles send it back over. Set up now by Nichols. Now deflected by Jordan. Saved there by the Libero. It goes over the net, but I think it's going to be on the opposite side. So another point for Hilltop as they could not keep it in play.
And there, as the action was up on the net, you got to like the fact that Vanessa Carrasco, as close as it was, let that ball go, and it was called out by the ref.
Hilltop gets the service over. Eagles send it back over. Jordan now gets it between 2 defenders again. Set up by the Lancers. Now Flowers has to send it over the net, and she hits it poorly as it hits right in the middle of the net for the point for the Eagles. So they break service, and now they regain it, trailing by 3 once again at 24-21.
And substituting in is Brianna Duplessis, in for Dakota Flowers.
Eagles send it over. Boy, nice dig there by Duplessis. Crosses it over now to Nichols. Saved by Jordan. Trying to get it in. They got to get it over. They do. Picked up by Vasquez. Now Lance is sending it over. Great kill shot by Vasquez. Jordan now trying to set it up. Back over, but somebody touched the net, and I believe it's going to be the Eagles. Yep. Didn't catch a number, but one of the frontline players hit the net. So point goes to the Hilltop, and they win the first set of the match, 25-21.
And there on that last play, that was Marissa Davis coming up for the Lancers as they pull out this first set, 25-21. We've seen a lot of action here so far. To sum it up, if you're Hilltop, you had a rocky start, you came back, you built up a lead, you held on to the lead, and you were able to pull out this first set. If you're the Eagles, one of the things that I'm starting to notice, there's a lot of athleticism on this team, and it all seems to be centered around outside hitter Kalia, Jordan. And here's the thing, she's a freshman, but she just brings this vibe when she's in there to the other Eagles. And I don't know, I got a feeling if we were a betting man, I'd be saying the second set would definitely be in the favor of the Eagles.
Yeah, I would totally agree with you. Jordan, when using sports, she adds that energy to the team every time she comes on the field. Seems like everybody's play kind of picks up, and they kind of look forward to setting her up. It looks like you see the setters and the libero and even the back line trying to set it up so they could give her in good position so she could kill the ball on the opponents. And and she showed the power at putting it several times through 2 defenders like it was nothing.
And I tell you, I wouldn't want to be in the path of anything that she's hitting that ball there. And one of the other things is, I mean, if you had to equate it to somebody, you would say this is kind of like your 3-point shot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is the person, the sharpshooter that's going to come in. That's what Jordan seems to bring to this Eagles team. And like I said, the first set, 25-21, wasn't too much of a difference. I think Hilltop had built up enough lead earlier on to be able to hold on and to pull out the points to get that first set. But I would definitely not count out the Eagles here in the second set. And one of the other things that we seem to see is they're positioning themselves well, even on the errant balls that might have fallen in. They're able to kind of rebound, and like I said, if they're able to get it more to Jordan in this second set, you better watch out if you are Hilltop.
Being a freshman, you don't know if with the scouting if you can you kind of come in here not knowing that they have a freshman talent of this level. Now you played one game against her. What does Hilltop have to do to maybe counteract her athleticism and her energy?
And I think one of the things that the Lancers have to do that they have shown here a few times so far is with the front line of the Marissa Davises, the Emily Vasquez's, the Dakota Flowers, who seems to be one of the taller members of somebody we've seen so far on the court, is I think you have to kind of block her out. You have to take away that ability to have her crank one up and, let loose. And, I mean, she has gotten a few over the net, but I think if you are Hilltop, that's what you're going to need to do to pull out a victory in this match.
Well, as per the norm in volleyball, both teams switch sides, so we're getting ready here for game number 2. Hilltop has the first set. If you're just joining us, they won it by the score of 25-21 in a rather entertaining first match. So now we're getting ready here for the second one. And the referees verify all of the players on the court for the second game. And we're about ready to go as Hilltop will serve. Marissa Davis will be the senior. And here comes her serve as she hits right off the top of the net, and it falls down, so point goes over the Olympian, but more importantly, they get service. And Pregame will be the server, the senior, for Olympian. Pregame. I think I was calling it the betting game. And here comes off for a serve. I apologize. And there we go off the back line. The libero tried to save it, Duplessis, and trying to react was Teague, could not come up with it.
And they're real quick, out to a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, Pregame is shown that sneaky serve where it kind of comes on you fast and you have a hard time reacting. See what she does here with her second serve. Back line again, and it just falls right behind Teague. She let it go thinking it was going to go long, and then it kind of just fell in.
And as you said, you just got to like the elusiveness so far.
Quick 3-0 lead by Olympian. Pregame second one, falls a little short. So the service will go back over to Hilltop.
There, I think she saw something on the defense on this side of the Lancers. Unfortunately, unable to get it over the net and put it where she wanted to. They're going to give up service to Hilltop here.
The junior Teague now. Getting ready to serve. She does. Back line again. Let go. And it is Wong. So nice reaction there by the Eagles. Recognizing that ball was going to go a little bit farther. And they get the point. More importantly, they get the service back.
And then you had Pregame and Maddie Mendler kind of looking at each other and steering clear of that.
Karam off the serve, hits the top of the net and falls on Hilltop's side for the point. Late reaction there by Nichols as she thought that ball was going to stick and stay on Olympian side. You got to be prepared for that shot right now.
And I think if you are the Olympian Eagles, you got to remember you were shut out the first time you played Hilltop, 3-0, 3-0.
Off the serve now. Lancers trying to get it up and cannot. Teague trying to set up the front line. They were not ready for it. It falls in front of them. And now it's a 6-1 Olympian lead here.
And out up by 5 here early. You've got to like the service so far here of the Eagles. And it seems that what plagued Hilltop early in the first set seems to have come back and resurfaced here at the beginning of the second set as they find themselves down by 5.
Johar now sends it over for the Eagles. Gets it right on Teague. Trying to get it up and over is Martinez. She does. As overreacting was Karam. I think she thought that ball was going to be a little bit stronger than it actually was. It fell right in front of her. A little one-handed shot by Martinez in the front of the court for Hilltop. Gets that point for them. 6-2 Hilltop with the serve. Dakota Flowers getting ready to serve. She does. Jordan now hits it right to the front line, trying to set it up. And between two defenders, nice shot there by Allegra. Libero now saves the shot for Olympian, sets up Jordan, gets a return back now. Got to get it over in 3. Olympian does. Nice shot. Set up now are the Lancers, and they get it to the back line. It's partially blocked by the front line for Olympian. They get the ball over. Lance is now setting up and shot in the middle. Saved there by Olympian. And Jordan now trying to get it up. Over. Jordan does to the back line for Olympian. Here goes Hilltop again, trying to get it between two defenders is Nicholas. But Jordan's block puts it right back on the Lance's side for the point. Great volley there.
There, Jordan and Alexis Benavides, number 17, providing that wall. As they were able to just push that ball back onto the side of green here. As they're up 7-2.
Julian Allegre now will serve. Off the serve, back line. And put right back on the other side of the Eagles as the Lancers weren't prepared for that. The 50-50 ball in the net. And right there, Olympian being more aggressive. Nice play there by Benavides.
And there, Brianna Duplessis had no answers. The ball almost hit her in the face.
Olympian with the serve. They get it over. Back line. Set up by the Lancers now to the front. Trying to send it over. Nice soft shot by Nicholas over the two front line defenders for the point.
And there, number 4, Emily Nicholas, saying, you know what, we just had an extended volley just a few plays ago. Let's go ahead and change this up. And where they're looking for something hard and fast to come over, I'm just going to barely get it over the net. Got the point.
But Hilltop cannot capitalize as that next serve by Bajo hits the net. So point goes to Olympian, and more importantly, service back to them as their talented freshman Khalil Jordan now will serve. Shot back line. Lance is now trying to get it over. Put back by Benavides, and it gets in right in front of Duplessis for the point.
There, Benavides with Angelica Galindez able to put it back on the side. That's going to give them a point as they're up 9-3 here in this second set.
Jordan now with the serve, and Lance is now trying to get it in front of the net. Miscommunication in front. Falls underneath the net. More importantly, another point for the Eagles as they lead now 11-3.
And there, the junior Benavides is kind of starting to make her presence felt on the front line.
Okay, Layla Jordan now with the serve. Back line to the Lancers, trying to set up their front. They got to get the ball over. Teague does that nicely, and it went right off the fingertips of number 16, Courtney Turk, as he tried to react to that ball, but that was nicely placed there by Teague.
There, the senior center, I think just more reaction. The ball being as close as it was, got one of her hands on there, and unfortunately it was heading out if she doesn't touch it.
Back line served by the Lancers now. Eagles have to get it over. They do. Pykow does as the Lancers now trying to set it up. T gets his block, her shot blocked at the net. And she tried to get it over again. Again blocked. Nicely done by Alexis Benavides for the point. She's a force in the front line.
And Johair Karam in for Benavides. She's going to get a well-deserved break.
Off the serve now. Lance is trying to send it up, and a nicely blocked there by number 13, Karan. Lance is looked like startled that it was blocked, actually. They didn't set up for another shot, and it goes out of bounds, and they trail now 13-4 to the Olympian Eagles here with service on the Eagles side.
Here, Lauren Sylvia is going to try to keep this going.
Sylvia with a backline serve. Duplessis tries to move it up to the front, but Teague wasn't ready for it. Falls in front of her. Timeout. Lancers as they trailed by 10. 14-4 on PlayOn Sports coverage of Metro Conference Volleyball.
You can find PlayOn Sports on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow PlayOn Sports on both Facebook and Twitter, and you can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube. Just go to YouTube/PlayOn Network, and remember to keep up with all the high school action you see every week. From your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Thomas Conroy right here with Ed Alcaraz. As we thank you so much for joining us here from Olympian High School here in San Diego, California, as the Hilltop Lancers trail the Olympian Eagles. The hosts lead at 14-4, and they have the service as Lauren Silver getting ready to libero. Here comes her serve. It's to the back line, and the Lancers can't hit it. Tied up Vasquez in the back line. That hit her. But that's a sneaky serve. It
It was
comes
a
on
very
top of you
sneaky
really
serve
fast.
by Sylvia there. She keeps service for the Eagles here.
Silver again, backline serve. Finally, they have it up to the front line. Teague now going to get set up, try to go over the net, and they're going to say that Teague touched the net. So net violation, point goes to the Eagles, and they lead now 12 points at 16-4.
And from the angle that we have, unfortunately, we couldn't really see if it was indeed infraction, but it looked kind of like her hand had come over.
Lance is trying to get it to the back line, and they do for the point. Great shot by Marissa Davis as that tied up Monica Lee on the back line. She could not save it.
Monica Lee, a diving attempt. Unable to come up with the dig there. As you're going to have the visitors, the Hilltop Lancers, regaining the serve and trying to cut into this 11-point lead by Olympian.
Emily Nicholas now with the ace right in front of Lee again. Good serve as Lee couldn't play a little bit too far, and now Coach Valerie Sparara asks her to move up this a bit. We get a whistle as Nicholas serves, and they're going to say she stepped in before the serve. So a service violation, as you have to be out of play before the ball. Once you hit the ball and then you come back into play, she stepped into the court before the ball left her hand.
And here's they're able to regain that 17-6, that 11-point lead.
Legasca now with the serve. And we get this. Now, that I believe they just out of position. Somebody was who's noted as maybe a frontliner was in the back line, and you cannot have that.
That'll cost you a point, and there it did for Hilltop.
Yeah, off the service now, Lance has sent it over. Nice dig there by Silva, who gets it to the front, and nicely put over the net by Karam. Joher Karam with the kill, and more importantly, a 13-point lead at 19-6 Olympian.
And as I had mentioned before, for this season, having played before 3-0, they lost the first matchup in this two game series. And after losing the first set, they've come back on fire. Have the Eagles of Olympian.
Teague sent the ball over, but they're going to call a net violation on Dakota Flowers, her frontline teammate. They're saying that she crossed the line. She didn't hit the net, but her foot crossed the line underneath the net for the violation. Teague trying to set up Flowers, sets up Teague, sends it to the back line. Here come the Eagles. They got to get it over in 3, and they do. Lance is trying to set it up. 50-50 ball put back over by Pie Cow for the point. Vanessa gets another point for Olympian, and they lead now 21-6.
And there, she just had good court presence. She saw what was going to be set up as they were going to, as the Lancers were going to try to get the ball over the net. They left her kind of wide open there. She was able to come to the near side of the court of the Lancers and just lay it on in.
Lancers get it over in 3 after the serve. Back line now, Monica Lee has to get it over for the Eagles. She cannot, as it's long. Nice play, nice reaction there by Carrasco to let that ball go. Good read.
That's one of the things we've seen out of number 9, Carrasco there. She's let a couple of balls drop that, you know, just out of the instinct you'd go after.
Marissa Davis got to get a comeback here as the Lancers trail by 14. And that serve goes, nice dig there by the Olympian, but trying to come up with it was Arilyn Adamos cannot, and that falls in front of her for the point. Lances off the serve. It goes off the shoulder of Monica Lee for another point. And they get 2 back here quickly, but they still trail 21-9 Hilltop. Now we're going to get a timeout by Olympian.
And one of the swings that we've seen so far here in this second set is you would like to think, okay, if you're Olympian, we've got a sizable lead. We're up by 12 here. It would be an amazing 16-4 run by Hilltop to be able to come back and win the second set. Not that it's impossible, but the way that they've been playing, they don't seem to be able to gel up front. And there just seems to be a lot of indecision so far here. You got to get that fixed if they are able to, if they do drop this second set going into the third, if they want a chance to pull this match out.
Well, I think when you trail this month, this personally myself is you just got to forget the scoreboard and just play your game, because if you look at that scoreboard, I don't think you have any chance of getting back into this game. But I think they're doing it the smart way, and especially in volleyball, you can get a couple of quick points and just quickly. Here we go off the serve now. Olympian trying to get it over the net, and they cannot. A little miscommunication there on the front line, and Karam trying to get it over, could not. Another point for Hilltop now. That is 4 straight for them. Off the serve, the Libero Silva saves it. Olympian got to get it over. They do. Nice block at the net by Flowers, saved by Teague, trying to get it over. Eagles save it. 50-50 ball gets sent back over on the Lancer side to the back line. Nice save by Olympian. They got to get it over. They do. To the nice save by Duplessis. Can't get it over as it went off to the right of her as he tried to make an over-the-shoulder shot there. Duplessis on the save.
And they were just unable. She had her back turned to the net, unable to position herself to put the ball back towards the net as it kind of went off to the far side of her own side of the court. And that's going to go ahead and give another point here.
Monica Lee leaves the game, and Kalila Jordan comes back on as Pai Cow with the serve, and went a little bit long for her, so service goes right back over to Hilltop. They trail it by 11, 22-11, with Hannah Teague serving for them. Teague backline serve to Silva, trying to set it up, 50-50 ball. Flowers puts it over on Olympian side for the point. Nice play.
And that's what should be one of the strengths for Hilltop, as you've got Dakota Flowers, Vanessa Carrasco, Marissa Davis, and Emily Vasquez kind of rotating there on the front line. They definitely have the height advantage.
Teague now gets it over the net as the Eagles send it back over by Jordan now. Teague going to send it over to the back line on her shot. Set up for Jordan now. Back line, nice save by Teague. Trying to set it up, and it goes off the fingertips of Davis, out of bounds. Well, I don't know if she kind of misstepped there or what, but she did not look comfortable trying to set up that front shot, or that front service shot.
And that all goes with court awareness. As I've mentioned several times, the referee is definitely in a great position to see who's stepping in and who's stepping out. And that was a no-brainer there.
Karam with a serve now, 50-50 ball, put back over by Benavidez, the junior, with another point. And boy, she's been dominant on that front line when she's played there.
That she has, and I think just in the second set alone, she wasn't much of a presence in the first set, but here in the second set, I would say that she's directly attributed to at least a half a dozen points for the Eagles.
Johar Karam now with the serve. And another backline shot. Davis trying to set up Teague from the back line as they put over the net. Nice block by Jordan, but the Lancers send it over. Set up here now for Pai Cow, and it goes off the net. Jordan tried to put it back over, but they say that she touched the net, so net violation. More importantly, service back over to the Lancers as they trail 24-13. Serve now, backline save by the Eagles, trying to set it up to Benavidez. She hits it flat foot back line, trying to set up Teague, trying to set it up. Nice block by Jordan, and they're going to say the point is for her. I thought it could have been a net violation, but not so, and the Eagles on that block get the point. More importantly, they get the game at 25-13.
And in my opinion, it wasn't that close. There just seemed to be a lot of miscommunication on the Lancer side. One of the things that I did notice, and I'm going to attribute it to the athleticism of the Eagles, is we also were able to see just how they're rotating in and out, how they're setting themselves up in a much better position. And it seemed in that second set that they were looking more to attack the net, trying to force the Lancers up. They were able to do that, and the Lancers just had no answer, as most of the points seemed to be scored just getting it over that front line of Hilltop. Olympian did. And they did a pretty good job in doing that. And I tell you, that pause was for dramatic effect there, that 8-second pause.
We were all baiting on your words there.
I tell you, I was just going to make sure I drove that point home. And once again, Olympian taking that second set, 25-13. So what do you see going in now? They've both taken one of the sets here.
Well, I wanted to add on your point because I noticed that too during the match when they got up pretty big by 15 points. I noticed that Coach Sapara really kind of, I don't want to say emptied her bench, but really kind of rested Jordan for an excessive long time, and so did Benavidez. And maybe, you give them that little rest, and they especially when they're young players, especially Jordan as a freshman, you get that little added rest that may not normally see at the varsity level. And she can come back here now in the second game, and definitely here in the third, and have that added strength that we really need. Where the Lancers, quite frankly, had to really scratch, as you said, to get those 13 points. I mean, they made a nice run there. I think they had a five-point run late in the contest to kind of keep it relatively close. And to me, that if you can get rest for your young players and get a win, I think it's a big-time plus.
That's definitely a win-win, as you had said. And one of the things that we did notice in the play of Alexis Benavides in the second set, the Lancers just didn't seem to have an answer for her up at the net. And she pretty much scored at will. And as I mentioned, she attributed to at least 6 to 8 points in that second set. Now we're going to start the third set here. And I got to admit, I think it's a coin toss. Depending on how Hilltop comes out, and if they've got an answer for Jordan and as well as Benavides, because we definitely saw the athleticism and what they're capable of in that second set, pulling it out 25-13. Now, let's see if this one's going to be a close one here to close this out.
It's going to be unofficially coming into this game. The team stats on the year was for the Lancers only 45 blocks, and you could have seen that in the first two games. They don't put a lot of balls. When they send it over the net, it's usually going to come back on their side, where you can clearly see on the Eagle shot with Benavidez, when she sends it back over, 9 times out of 10, it's not coming back on a return.
And that's one of the things that keeps her in the rotation here for Olympian.
Well, the Eagles will serve here to start game 3, and it's a nice serve. Lance is trying to send it over. Sending it a little bit long there with Emily Nicholas from the front line. And the point will go to the Eagles. Serving is number 10 for Olympian. That's Alexis Lagaska. And her serve goes to the back line, saved by Duplessis. Trying to get it over to Teague. Teague says a soft shot over the front line, but it's returned by the Eagles. Backline shot. Lancers trying to get it over. Teague does, and Silva saves it. Nice dig to the middle of the court. Olympian trying to get it over. They do. Here comes the setup for the Lancers. Just getting it over in the front line, and a miscommunication between Allegra and Karam for the point for Hilltop. That's a miscommunication right there.
Total miscommunication there, and Vanessa Carrasco taking advantage of it. And she gets her team on the board here in this third.
Hilltop goes over. Nice save by Lagaska as the Eagles send it over. Lancers now trying to, and a good, strong shot between two defenders by Bridget Young, the junior outside hitter.
Brigitte Young there. They set her up right. She was able to put it where they weren't. As they jump out to a quick 2-1 lead here.
Serve now. Served by the Lancers, goes off of Monica Lee again and out of bounds. So another point for Hilltop as they come out here, firing away 3-1.
And I think one of the things they're going to try to do is kind of play keep away with some of the players, just the Benavides, the Jordans, who aren't actually in the ball game right now.
Off the serve now, here comes the Eagles, as that was Pykow trying to get it between two defenders. No go as Young and number 4, Emily Nicholas, sends it back over for the point. So nice block there by Hilltop by their front line. Two players teaming up for another point.
And there they got it just by the outstretched arms of Monica Lee. She didn't have an answer for that one. 4 of the 5 points here so far are Hilltops.
Marissa Davis, her serve goes over. Silva makes a nice save. Olympian got to get it over. They do in 3. Here comes Hilltop setting up Nichols, and her shot goes between two defenders. But they're going to say she touched the net off the shot. Now, that's a tough call, but I think she's right. I think she her extended hand, her left hand did touch the net.
And we've seen that here a couple of times so far by Emily Nicholas. Aggressive play. You can't blame her for that.
Paikau sends it over now for the Eagles. Nice save by the Lancers. Great dig by Silva. Hilltop trying to get it over. Bridget Young tries to send it up, but they're going to say she hit it twice. And that will be a point for Olympian.
And just as quickly as Hilltop was able to race out to a 4-1 lead, that lead has now been cut down to 1. As the Eagles have chipped away and made it a 4-3 score here.
Vanessa Paikau now with the serve right in front of Teague. Falls in front of her. She trapped the ball. More importantly, another point for the Eagles, and we're even at 4.
And re-entering the ball game there is Kalia Jordan.
Served by the Eagles, back line. Duplessis had to save it. Goes deflecting off of her teammate, out of bounds. Another point for Olympian.
Not able to get the kind of angle that she wanted on that dig. Duplessis hitting it sideways rather than forward.
Paikau with the jump serve now right in front of Teague. And again, she didn't know exactly how she wanted to hit it. She hit it low and then went out of bounds.
And those slight indecisions there on those last 2 serves cost him a couple points as the Eagles jump on top 6-4 here.
Paikau hits right off the top of the net in front of Duplessis for the point. Boy, how lucky can you get? Boy, when the ball hits your way, you got to love it. And that's what Olympian is doing right now. As Ed said, they trailed 4-1, and now it's 7-4 in their favor.
And this isn't the kind when you want to get you don't want to get too far down. This is only a 15-point set, as opposed to the 25 of the first 2 sets.
No, it's 25.
It is going to be 25.
When they're tied 2-2, then it becomes a 15 game. And there goes another serve by Vanessa right in front of Duplessis again. She got the target right on her shoulders right now, as this service has been pinpoint accurate right on top of her, and she just doesn't know how to react right yet. Another serve now by the Eagles, this time send off a little bit to the left, trying to get it out to the front, and can't react to it as Nichols made that save. I believe that was Evelyn Martinez, and she just couldn't get it over the net. Paikau again with a serve, goes off of Martinez's arms and out of bounds as she stepped in front of Duplessis, tried to hit that serve, and she couldn't get it done. Timeout on the court by Hilltop. They trail, but the host, Olympian Eagles, 10-4, right here on PlayOnSports.com.
PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country, just like we have right here, this great volleyball matchup in the Metro League, the Mesa League. So anyways, let's get back to this. PlayOnSports.com. It's where your high school sports lives.
Metro Conference volleyball coverage here on PlayOnSports.com. My name is Thomas Conroy, along with Ed Alcaraz. Excuse me.
Close enough, my friend, close enough.
And we thank you so much for joining us. And Ed, 10-4 Olympian, and you could take a look at from the second game on. They've been totally dominant here. They've scored 35 points to 17 for Hilltop. Off the service now, the Lances getting it over the net. And Jordan with a tremendous setup and a spike right in front of Martinez for the point. Wow.
And that, if you are the Eagles, is you want to do that all day. You want to do that all match because Jordan is up for the task. And I tell you, I don't know if I would have gotten in the way of that laser right there.
Julian Allegre with the setup there on Jordan. Paikau to serve, goes right off the top of the net and falls down on their side, so Eagles lose service as Hilltop sends it over, but they trail 11-5. Big service time now for Hannah Teague.
You're down by 6 here in the third set. You're definitely going to want to try to get this momentum back.
Off the serve, it goes over. Here comes the setup by the Eagles. Backline shot there. As the Lances now trying to send it over. Nice save, nice dig by Silva. Picked up, set up for Jordan. Uses her left hand, gets it over the net. Silva with another save. Cannot get it out of it. Get it to another teammate as it goes out of bounds for the point for the Lancers.
And there, Lauren Sylvia diving and hitting and doing what she needed to do. Unable to come up with the dig there, as the serve is going to stay with the Lancers, and that's it. It's Hannah Teague.
The junior serves it right in front of Jordan. She sends it up. Tries to get it to the back line. Nice save. Nice shot by Pykow. It goes off a Teague, off another teammate, and out of bounds. Service goes back over to Olympian. That was Vanessa Carrasco trying to save it for her teammate.
You got to like the effort, but unfortunately, she was kind of facing away from the net. Wasn't much she was able to do with that lone line drive as the serve goes back to Olympian.
Johir Karam with her serve. Hits right in front of the net. And it will stay on the Olympian side, so they lose their service. Back over to the Lancers now as Emily Nicholas will serve. Nicholas serve right in front of Kalila Jordan, trying to set her up. Jordan sends it cross court, saved by the Lancers, picked up. Shot over by Bridget Young, gets it right off of the shoulders of number 10, Lagaska, for the point.
And there Young, set up nicely by Emily Nicholas, as they're able to get the point, close this deficit to 4.
Nicholas with the serve, and it goes right in front of Pykow. 50-50 ball, and it will go over. Point goes to Olympian. They're going to say that the number 7, Janelle Alila, touched the net.
There, Janelle Ayala wasn't close to trying to hide that. That was pretty straightforward.
Nice save there by the Lancers off the serve. Trying to set it up here, and they do. The number 11 sends it back over to the Lancers side. Here they go. Shot now by saved by the Eagles. Trying to get a set up for Jordan as she sends it over nicely. Young now back over for the Lancers. We got a good volley going. Set up here, and a nice block by Alala. As Jordan now trying to run for it, tries to make a valiant shot, but it will go out of bounds, and the point goes back to the Lancers. Boy, good volley right there by both teams.
There, and one of the strengths, once again, it showed, even though they lost the point, was just how they were able to just kind of set up and get all around the court. Were the Eagles.
Bridget Young now with the serve, and it goes right in front of Jordan for the point. Could not react in time. Looked like she had a little miscommunication as Courtney Turk, the senior, was trying to move back from the middle, and I guess it was out of bounds.
They're going to go ahead and call it out of bounds. Turk, smart, the last second, pulled up.
But the referee said it was a point as Jordan's serve goes over the top of the net. Lancers save it now, trying to send it over from the back line. Nice shot by Nicholas as it goes between the defenders for the point.
There, one of the defenders, Benavides, a name that we've called often here in this match. Just seemed to get the ball right behind her, or to the right side of her, unable to pick up and get it back across the net.
Off the serve now, Benavides fakes it. Set up there for Pykow, and she sends it home with a nice kill straight down the far sidelines.
And there, the senior captain, outside hitter, showing why she's one of the captains. And that was a beautiful setup there.
Yeah, they set up Benavides, and she faked it, and then Pykow came off from the far side and put it straight down. Sylvia now with the serve, goes off the top of the net. Young saves it for the Lancers. They send it back over. Olympian has to get it over. Let's see what Silver does, but they're going to say two hits there for Courtney Lee. So service will go over to stay with Hilltop. More importantly, they get the point.
You got to do it in 3 or less, and not 3.5 or 4. And unfortunately, Olympian called for that.
Ayala with the serve. Here come the Lancers now. Trying to send it to the back line. Olympia got to get it over in 3. Can they? Nice shot, they do. Lancers setting up the front line, and this is a little short shot by Teague. Saved by Olympian. They got to get it over in 3. They do. Back line Young. Here comes the setup to Teague. No, it goes over to Nicholas as she shoots it long. Point goes back to Olympian. More importantly, they get the serve.
They're going to go up by 5 here. The Eagles. And some exciting play as they're able to just kind of volley back and forth. We're starting to see a little bit more of that. Here in the ballgame, one of the strategies that I'm not sure if it's intentional for the Lancers of Hilltop is they're trying to stretch the court out as much as they can, trying to use the back line and maybe take it away from the front court of the Eagles. But once again, that athleticism comes into play as the Eagles were able to withstand some of these last few plays, and they're still up by 4 here in the third set.
A couple of substitutions for the Olympian Eagles. Now they're all set up with their alignment. And Janelle Alilo, the junior, will now serve for Hilltop. And it goes right in front of Pycow. 50-50 ball at the net. Olympian has it. They have to get it over. They do. Backline Alilo now over, sending up for Teague. Teague gets it over 2 defenders. Nice save by Olympian. Here comes the setup. Lances send it to the back line, trying to get a save. It goes, hits on top of the official. So the point will go to Hilltop as Olympian cannot get it over the net.
And there, Alexis Lagaska almost able to make a pretty good dig right there. Unable to come up with it as the ball gets stopped in play by the ref.
Alila with the serve. Here come the Eagles. Got to get it over in 3. They do. Martinez saves it for the Lances. Set up for Teague. Kills it to the back line. Nice dig by Olympian. Trying to get it to the front line. Goes off a little misdirection and it falls in front of number 9, Monica Lee, for a point for Hilltop. They're making a comeback. They only trail by 1 now at 15-14.
And this is the kind of play that I think Hilltop was looking to do, is they were trying to stretch out, if you would, the defense of the Eagles, and they've definitely done that as they've closed the gap back down to 1.
Pygow with a nice soft shot over the front line. Saved by the Lancers. Olympian now sending up Pygow again. Her shot wide, and it will be a point as it falls in front of Bridget Young for the point for Olympian.
And there, beautiful setup and spike by Johair Karam.
16-14 now, Olympian. They have the serve as they get it over the net. Set up now for Teague. Teague trying to get it between 2 defenders. She does, as it's partially deflected there by Allegre. And it's now 16-15, but more importantly, Hilltop gets the serve back.
And here, trying to tie this up, is going to be Marissa Davis on the serve.
Davis now getting ready to serve. Jump serve as she gets it right in front of Monica Lee, and it falls in front of her. Lee did get a hand on it, just could not get it up high enough for a teammate to keep it in play. We're tied at 16, excuse me.
You're going to have Lee come out and Selena Valencia coming in as a substitution on that back line.
Off the serve, the Eagles have to get it over. They do. Service now tipped by Nicholas to the back line, and gotta wait for the officials, and the head official says point goes to Hilltop. That far corner, we can't read it, so we gotta wait for the officials to make a call. They do. And for the first lead in the third game, Hilltop has it. Timeout on the court. Eagles call it as they trail Hilltop 17-16 on your home for Metro Conference Volleyball, Mesa League, PlayOnSports.com.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups, like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Then tell your school to sign up for the Play on Sports broadcast program. The program allows schools to broadcast all of their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to PlayOnSports/SBP.
Thomas Conroy right here with Ed Alcaraz as we are waiting for both teams to come back on the court. They do. Hilltop leads it first time here in game 3, 17-16. They have the serve as Marissa Davis will be serving. And off the serve, it goes long. Saved by Silva now to the front line, 50-50 ball. And they're going to say that Lagaska touched the net as she tried to avoid it. Could not. She might have gotten her foot underneath that line too, so another point for Hilltop.
And there's Marissa Davis again, trying to extend this lead.
Davis' serve goes long. Nice save by the Eagles. Silver got to get it over the net. She does to Duplessis. Here comes the setup for Teague, trying to get in front of 2 defenders. Pygow puts it right back in her face. Pycow trying to wait for it, cannot. And I didn't see who. I think Hilltop got the point.
The point was for Hilltop as Alexis Lagaska was called for being outside of the peppermint sticks there on top of the net.
And off the serve now, Lances send it over. Eagles got to get it over. Nice block there by Nicholas for Hilltop. Cross course it. Pygau gets it between two defenders for the point. Nice play there by Vanessa.
Vanessa was set up beautifully there. The senior captain able to get it off of the wedge, if you would, of Marissa Davis and Emily Nicholas and get the point for the Eagles.
Pygau now with the serve to the back line. Lance's got to get it over, and Nicholas does with a good, strong shot right in front of the Olympian net. Boy, they're complaining. They're saying that was clearly out, but both officials are saying no, and they're giving the point to Hilltop.
And here, Hannah Teagle will get the serve to try to extend this lead.
3-point lead at 2017. Here comes the serve. Back line to Silva. No, she lets it go. And they're going to say smart play because that went long. Service goes over to Olympian, but more importantly, they only trail by 2.
And you got Benavides back in the game along with Jordan for Olympian.
Off the serve now. Lance is trying to send it over, and boy, Young puts it, power shot, right in front of the back line for the point. So that was a short-lived service, as it's a 3-point lead now for Hilltop.
And there, the junior outside hitter, Brigitte Young, able to bring it back to a 3-point lead here for the Lancers. They've got the serve.
Emily Nicholas now with the serve. Right in front of Jordan now, gets it up high. Pygau sends it to the back line, and it's just in. Yes, it is in. The main official just called it right in front of us, so nice shot there by Vanessa. She's come up with a couple of those here in this third game.
And I tell you, that was right on the line. There was no room.
Julian Allegra now with the serve. Right in front of the back line now as it defensive kind of stance there by Nicholas, and it kind of threw off the front line. They could not react to it. Hits the net. More importantly, it's a 1-point lead now for the Lancers. Allegra sends it over the net. 50-50 ball, and neither team went for it, or got a hand on it, I should say. They both went for it, and it falls on the side of the Lancers, and we got a tie game at 21 all.
And there, Janelle Ayala had no answer.
Another ace by Allegra, and in the lead now is Olympian as that ball fell in front of Duplessis, the libero for the Lancers, and I think they're going to call a timeout, Ed.
And one of the things you got to like, this is more of a hard-fought third set here. The first set, as sloppy as both teams played, Hilltop was able to come out with it. The second set dominated completely by the Eagles. The score says 25-13 for that second set, but we know it was not as close as the score would indicate. And here in the third, we've seen fight from both sides. The score indicating that at 22-21.
Well, but the momentum shifts are like
it just seems to be just like the ball. It just seems to be going back and forth. But I think if you're Hilltop, what you've got to do here to close out this third set is find an answer, as we've continued to say, for Jordan and Benavides. They haven't been able to do it.
Off the serve now, Allegra will send it over the back line. Lance is trying to get it over. Front net sent over by Young, but they're going to say 2 shots there. She kind of lets that ball kind of stick right in front of her instead of trying to hit her in front of her face, and then she's going to get that called a lot. Here come the Eagles now off the serve. Duplessis now trying to get to the front line. Sent up nicely over by Alila. Jordan now saving it. They got to get it over. The Eagles do. Nice save, nice dig by the Lances, and put up by Alila for the point as she spiked it right in front of the back line.
And there, Janelle Ayala, right place at the right time. She spiked it where they weren't. Close the gap to 1 here as it's 23-22. Olympia over Hilltop in this third set.
Bridget Young now will serve. As back line, Jordan to Turk. Back to Jordan now. Cross courts it. Saved there by the Lancers. Set up for Alila. She hits it right over the libero. silver for the point.
Once again, Janelle Ayala putting the ball where the Eagles weren't. 23-23, we're tied here.
Timeout now by Olympian. As they want to talk it over and tie game. I think you want to make sure everybody's on the same page. You don't want no miscommunications and definitely players out of position. So I think it's a smart timeout.
And I think the emergence of Ayala on the front line there, she's gotten the last 2 points, is definitely raising some concerns for the Eagles. And you got to figure, I mean, that happened with some of their best players on the court. You got to make the adjustments right now as we see Jordan out of the game.
Young now off the serve. Turk has it. Back outside to Pykow, and she hits it right off her Young's arms. And she sent it over the net for the point for the Eagles. They lead it, but more importantly, this is going to be for game point right here on this serve by the freshman, Kalila Jordan. Let's see if she can get it. Big pressure here. Stand serve, back line. Duplessis gets it off her hands and out of bounds. And the point goes to the Eagles, but more importantly, they win the third game, 25-23, in the best match of the contest thus far.
So far, you've got to say that was the nail-biter. That was the good one, but you had one of your better players, Kalia Jordan, back there serving. And she did a good job on that serve to close out the third set to hand it to Olympian as they're up 2-1 on the visiting Hilltop Lancers.
All right, Ed, you're the coach now of the Hilltop Lancers. You're a visiting team. You're on the road now. You're down 2 games. What do you got to do to get this 4th game?
I think one of the things you need to do is you need to just kind of let the players, kind of some of your anchors there. You got the Hannah Teagues, the Emily Nicholases, the Dakota Flowers. You need to let some of your core anchor players know you got to start setting up a little bit better. It seems in this third set, they once again, one of the themes of the match so far, they're kind of out of place. They're not getting balance on any of the digs or even on some of the shots. They're coming soft to the net as well. And I think one of the adjustments that Olympia's made is they've kind of rotated people out, but they're definitely having people up front that are kind of setting up to saying, you know, we're not going to give you that soft shot. You're going to have to earn this point. And I think Hilltop has not been up for the challenges. They had the lead here in the third set and unable to close it out as the Eagles were able to pull it out.
Yeah, we said in our opening, Olympian 6-game losing streak, 6-match losing streak, excuse me. And you're 1 game away from winning this 3 games to 1. You got to be excited, but how do you keep their emotions in tight for this 4th game if you're the coach of their squad?
If I'm the coach for Olympian, I'm telling them, let's just keep doing what we're doing. We're up 2-1. We're not going to change anything. We're going to continue the rotations that we've had so far here in this ball game. It seems to be working. And one of the other things is, don't get rattled. It can happen easily, and you know as well as I do, even in the pro ranks, it'll definitely sway the momentum just that fast.
Like my old football coach said, use the KISS format. Keep it simple, stupid.
There you go. And that applies in so many different things.
Yeah.
Outside of the realm of this gymnasium as well.
Lancers now ready for the serve here with the 4th game. It will be Marissa Davis with the serve. And she sends it to the back line for the Olympian Eagles. Pykow now sends it to the back line. Front line shot set up now. Nicely shot over the net by Teague. And the point will go to the Eagles. As they say, Teague was out of balance when she hit that ball over the net. And she did look a little bit outside, out of the realm of play. So good call there by the officials. And Vanessa Pykow now getting ready to serve. And she does, right in front of Duplessis. Tries to send it over, and Jordan sends it over the net, but they're going to say she was on top of the net, so a net violation on the freshman. And we're tied at 1.
And it's there that we're reminded that she is a freshman. You know, some of the plays that she's still learning, still getting used to this high school level ball game. And there she showed it as she allows Hilltop to get on the board and tied at 1.
Hannah Teague serve goes to Jordan now. It sets it up to the front line. Eagles get it over. Lance is trying to set up for the middle. Set over there, nicely done to Emily Nicholas, who puts it right in front of Pykow for the point.
And there, it's a good thing that Pikeout didn't try to go for it. She would have come just right into our table here, set up courtside.
T getting ready now for a second serve. Running jump, and she gets it over the net. Eagles now trying to set it up as a 50-50 ball. Won by the Lancers, but it goes to their back line. They got to get it over the net, and they cannot. Miscommunication between Duplessis and Nichols as they hit it right in the middle of the net. Point goes to the Eagles, and they get the serve.
And one of the things I had talked about, how they're setting up their shots, how they're getting people rotated and setting them into positions to be able to get that spike. They haven't been able to do it.
Karam off the serve now. Lancers trying to set it up as they get it to the back line. Nice dig there by Pikeout. Jordan now has it. She tries to cross-court it. A little too long on the shot. A little too much aggression there. Got to tone it down a bit, and she loses the serve and the point.
And I got a feeling Jordan plays at one speed, and that's full out 110% there.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you got to tone in that emotions, and she'll learn that over time. Off the serve now. Eagles trying to get it over the net, and Jordan does. Teague has it, set up for the middle. Here comes Bridget Young, backline shot right in front of Pikeout for the point for the Lancers.
And as much of this game is the skill and the talent of these young ladies to be able to, to make it to this level, some of it is as well as the football game is a game of inches. There is Pikeout has missed out on 2 points.
Off the serve now, Lancers sent it over the net. Eagles had to get it in, and did they? Let's see. They're going to give it to the point to the Eagles, so they didn't keep it in. More importantly, they got it over the net, and they got a point, as it was a nice read, tough read for the Lancers back line as they let that ball drop.
Well, there, Hannah Teague with her back turned. It was a difficult shot regardless. Let it go, and unfortunately it was a point for the Eagles.
Off the serve, Lancers trying to send it over the net. They cannot. Miscommunication in front. Davis and Nichols again. And the point goes to the Eagles. Off the serve now. Lancers have to get it over the net. They cannot, as Bridget Young hits it right in the middle of the net.
Just as quickly, that fast start for the Lancers is gone, as the Eagles are up by 1, 5-4 here.
Service now. Lancers trying to get it over. That time Young does. Trying to set up Jordan. Let's see what she does with it. Backline shot. Nice dig by Hilltop. And they're going to say it hit the ground first. So, wow. 6-4 lead for Olympian. Quick timeout here by Hilltop. They trail 6-4 to the Eagles here on Metro Conference Volleyball. Mesa League coverage on PlayOnSports.com.
You can find PlayOn Sports on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube. Just go to youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. And remember to keep up with all of the high school action you see every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Thomas Conroy along with Ed Alcaraz, as we thank you so much for joining us here from Olympian High School in San Diego, California. The Eagles are serving here as they lead by 2 points here in the fourth game against the Hilltop Lancers. Lancers sent it over the net. Eagles now trying to set up Galindez and put back by the Lancers. Here comes Jordan now, a setup, goes off the front line, fingertips, back out to Alila. She hits it over the net, but more importantly, they're going to say
Ayala was over the net. As we see the referee throw up the number 7, and the reaction of Ayala going, no, not me.
I think the coach asked who was the number, and there goes off the serve now. Lancers have to keep it in play. They do. They got to get over the net, and they've done that. Jordan now trying to set up the back line to Pikeout, and she sends it over the net. Here comes Alila again, right in front of Vanessa Pikeout for the point on that front line shot.
And there, what keeps Ayala in are shots like that.
Off the serve now, as Young sends it right off of Pikeout, and it goes out of bounds, so another point for the Lancers.
And there, they're able to close the gap to 1 here on this serve. Could possibly tie it up.
Bridget Young shot. Silva went for it. Now the Eagles have to get it over. Jordan does in the middle of the court, and they get it over. Ayala now sends it right in the middle of the court. Jordan trying to compensate, comes back, tries to save it. Cannot as it hits the net for the point.
And Ayala, one of the taller players here for the Lancers.
Ayala now trying to set up a block there. It goes through her, and it goes to the back line, and it kind of tips right off the hands of Emily Nicholas for the point.
Right between both of her paws as it hits off of her shoulder. And that's going to go ahead and give the point and the lead back to the home team, the Olympian Eagles.
Freshman sensation now, Khalil Jordan with the serve. And off the shot, Ayala now hits it off cross court, just gets it in line, and I think she got the point. Nope. They're going to say out, 9-7 Olympian.
Well, the ref had a good view, and even me, every now and then I can kind of open up my eyes and get a good view of that, and that was definitely out by at least a half a foot.
Jordan off the serve. It goes right off the top and down. Service goes back over to Hilltop as they trail by 1, 9-8.
And out comes Jordan here for Olympian. You got Monica Lee, who has seen extensive action here so far in this volleyball match, Mesa League volleyball, that is.
Vanessa Carrasco gets the shot over. Nice save and a dig by Silva. Miscommunications by the front line as the ball goes out of bounds off the Eagles there as coming into play number 16, Courtney Turk again. Couldn't come up with the play. Carrasco's serve. Silva has it. Turk now trying to set up her front line. High cow between two defenders. Gets it in front of the Lancer in the back line for the point.
And I think one of the things that we can agree on here is that Olympian is playing a lot better than an 8-13 record that they show.
Yeah, if you look at their roster, they have a very young roster. They have two sophomores and a freshman that play a lot of minutes, and you know, they're a young team and they're learning it up. And off the serve now, the Eagles get it over the net, and Martinez couldn't come up with it. Evelyn Martinez, number 1, try to get that shot. And they also moved up in division. They were Division 3 for the last few years. They're playing now Division 1 and 2 this year. Off the serve, Martinez saves it for the Lancers. Cross courts it to Teague, who gets it over the net. Pike out between two defenders. Nice dig there by Young. Set up for Teague, trying to get it to the outside. Saved by Courtney Lee. Turk keeps it in. They got to get it over the net. They do. Eagles do. Lancers send it back over. Saved there by Turk. Back over the Eagles. Nice block at the net by Lancers. And they'll send it back over to the back line. Silver saves it. Over to Turk. Back over in front of the net. They got to get it over. Pike out between two defenders. Does. Nice save by Teague on the dig. There goes a shot right at the net, and it does not go over. Point goes to Olympian. What a volley.
That was a great volley there as they were going back and forth. And it didn't seem like either one was kind of giving the other one a good shot. But ultimately, to Olympian.
Excuse me, off the serve, Silva hits it off the top, cannot send it over. Service goes back over the Hilltop. They trail 12-10.
Here you're going to get Ayala on the serve to try to close the gap to 1.
Janelle Ayala. And off the serve. And over the top, the Lancers trying to send it over. It falls right in front of Pygao for the point.
And there, Hannah Teague just in the right place at the right time. Very well-placed shot. She was able to get it in between the two lines.
Off the serve now. Eagles, and boy, Pykau, what a booming shot. Great dig there by the Lancers. Trying to get it off the back line. Lee sends it over to Turk, who gets it off the extension of the net for the point for the Lancers, and we're tied at 12. And Janelle Ayala will now serve. Nice shot, comes right in front of us. Whoa. I almost was going to grab that. Almost got a handful of Eagle.
Instinct was going to tell me to go out there and dig on that one, but I said, no, I would have to have jumped over you. And
man,
it's a good thing I didn't, I tell you.
Almost get battle pay for here from PlayOn Sports. Timeout on the court, 13-12. Hilltop leads the Olympian Eagles here on Metro Conference volleyball coverage of the Mesa League here on PlayOnSports.com.
PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Thursday afternoon volleyball action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Hilltop will have serve, and Ed, quickly, Hilltop getting a little bit of confidence back in their game now. They seem to make a couple adjustments. What have you seen here in Game 4?
I think what they've been able to do here in the fourth set is to kind of take a page away from Olympian and just kind of keep everybody off balance. The defense hasn't been able to set up as well as they were the first 3 sets, and I'm talking about Olympian. And let's see if it continues here with a 1-point lead for Hilltop.
Off the serve, Lee tries to save it. Now Eagles have to get it over the net. They do in 3. Here come the Lancers now trying to set up. Nichols goes over the front line with a soft shot. Turk going to set up Pykow. Back line, nice save by Young. Here comes Turk again, setting up Pykow again, and goes off of Ayala for the point, her hand. She kind of was off balance and tried to make a save.
Well, Olympian made they didn't try to hide it there at all. That you knew who they were trying to set up for. The captain there, Pykow, twice. They were able to dig it out the first time, unable to do it the second time. As the Eagles able to pick up the point there and knot this match up again at 13.
Off the serve now, back line to the Lancers. They're going to try to get it over the net. They do, between 2 defenders. Set up for Pykow, and we're going to get a whistle. They're going to say a double shot, double hit there by one of the Lancer players. So the point will go, or excuse me, the double hit on the Eagles side.
There, and they're going to call it on Jillian Allegre, saying she double tapped there. It's going to give the serve over to Marissa Davis and Hilltop.
Davis off the serve now. Eagles going to get it over. Pykow does, and it goes right in front of Davis, and that's going to be in front, no, out of bounds. 15-13 Lancers. So nice read there by Davis, knowing that ball was going to go long. Here she comes off the serve. Front net, Lee sends it over. Lancers trying to set up their front line. Here comes Teague, but we get a whistle. And we're going to get a double hit on Young, so the service goes back over to the Eagles.
Regardless if they would have gotten that double tap there, because Teague's shot was well outside the back line.
So it didn't matter. Courtney Lee leaves the game for Olympian, and coming back in is Kalila Jordan. Off the serve by Pykow. It goes off the top of the net and right in front of Young. She could not hit it for the point. Tied ball game at 15.
And just as quickly, we're back at a tie here in this fourth set.
Pykow again with a serve, a nice ace right off of Duplessis for the point.
And there, it just, like a good curveball, just dropped right in front of Duplessis. She was unable to do anything with it.
Vanessa Pykow now will get the serve, and it goes to the back line off of Davis now. Trying to send it over is Teague. She does, right in front of Silva, and she could not return it for the point now for Hilltop.
And you got to like the fact that Teague saw what was in front of her, took it, was able to get the point.
Tied at 16. Hilltop sends it over now. Jordan trying to get it between 2 defenders. Cannot. Gets it blocked on her side. Pykow from the back line tries to hit it. Cannot. Hits the top of the net. So good front line defense there by Hilltop to gain that point.
And one of the players who's taken a break has been great, I'd say, in the second and third sets, even going into this fourth set.
Off the serve now. Hilltop sends it over. Olympian sends it right back across the net. Here comes Young now to the back line. Pykow with the save. Here comes Jordan with the serve. Nope. Picked up by the Eagles. Now got to get over the net. They're going to set up the Lancers on the front line. Ayala over the net. Re-saved by the Eagles. I don't know how they sent that ball over, but nicely done. Young trying to get it over. She hits the net, and it will not go over. Point goes to the Olympians. Wow.
And I tell you, even though they're a younger team, as you had mentioned, they have a lot of young players that are in the regular rotation, you've got to like the fact that Olympian there didn't lose their composure, continued to set up and be in the right place at the right time and get the point there.
We're tied at 17. Olympian sends it over the net now. Here comes Hilltop trying to get it on the back line. Dug out. Sent over by the Eagles. Here comes Hilltop. They got to get it over. Will they? Yes, they do. Nice save by Jordan. Great dig. Benavides puts it straight up in the air, and miscommunication as Allegra did not see it and stood still as it fell in front of her.
There, and Benavides just was able to get the shot up. It went straight up. Jordan not in a position to be able to follow up with it as they give the point to the Lancers.
Off the serve, Jordan out of the front line. Pie Cow clears it on the back line right off of Nicholas for the point.
And there, just a laser shot by Pycal. Hilltop was unable to do anything with it. They give up the serve and the point.
Off the serve now, and Lancers now. Ayala with this nice shot. A little soft one, goes right over the front line. Outstretched arms for the point. Hilltop leads it now 19-18. And they have the serve, and it's Bridget Young with the service. Backline serve now. Silva saves it. Turk trying to set it up. Pie Cow. Back line. Nice save by the Lancers. Benavides, 50-50 ball, puts it back over on Hilltop side for the point.
And there, just a bad angle on the dig as it goes to the side of the court. And that was Ayala on the shot.
Kayla Jordan now with the serve, the freshman. Back line shot. Lancers now trying to save it. Nice dig out there by Turk. Again with the kill between two defenders. Saved there by the Eagles. In the middle of the court. Eagles save it. They got to get it over the net. Nice block there on the front line of the Eagles. And they're going to call a net violation on Hilltop. Point goes to Olympian.
And there Ayala trying to plead her case with the referee, but she's not having it.
Jordan with the serve. Her team leads it by 1, 20-19. The freshman puts it over in the middle of the court. Kind of a semi-shot. Teague saved it. Nice dig as it came over the net to Silva. Back outside to Pygao, and she puts it right in front of Teague for the point. Great kill there by Vanessa Pygao.
And the home team here 4 points away from closing out this fourth set.
21-19. Jordan getting ready to serve. And back line a little bit long. Nice read there by Hannah Teague. So the Lancers pick up a point. They only trail by 1, 21-20, but more importantly, they have the serve here. As it'll be Vanessa Carrasco with the service. Off of her serve, nice dig there by Lee. They get it over the net, the Eagles do. Set up in the middle there, and nice shot by Janelle Ayala for the point.
And Ayala, like I said, she's just finding the spots on the court where the Eagles don't seem to have a player set up.
Carrasco, nice shot there by and dig by Silva. Pykau trying to put it across court, but nicely blocked there at the net there by Marissa Davis, and it's 22-21 now, Hilltop over Olympian. We're going to get a timeout.
So what do you see now? If you're Hilltop, you're 3 points away from taking this set. If you're the home team, you're 4 points away from pulling out a victory, and being able to take this one home, snap that 6-game losing streak, which is just weighing heavily on them. Because like I said, what we've seen here so far, they're playing as a much better team than what their record indicates.
Yeah, and boy, Janelle Ayala really is playing well right now. And to me, you got to keep her away from the net or really try to maybe put two defenders in front of her because she's putting everything back over. Can't put anything light up on the 50-50 top of the net there because he's putting it back on your side. That's what I would do is bring it hard over there or concentrate keeping the ball away from her area of the court.
And I think if you're on the other side of this, if you're Hilltop looking to stop Olympian, it all starts and stops with number 4. Vanessa Pykal.
Excuse me, Carrasco with the serve now. Olympian now trying to get it off the back part. They do. Lancers now trying to get it over the net. Ayala once again gets it right over the outstretched arms of Pykal for the point. So that time they did bring up Vanessa Pykal, but boy, great read there by Janelle Ayala for the point.
And as I said, she continues to just kind of have enough court vision to put the ball where the defenders for the Eagles aren't able to get to it.
What a shot from the corner there by Angelica Galindez as she puts it in, cross-courted from the far side to the near side for the point.
And there, the outside senior hitter, Angelica Galindez, picking up the point for the Eagles.
One and done as Silver's serve goes right off the net onto Olympia's side. Service goes back over to Lancers now, as the visitors are 1 point away from a fifth deciding set. Janelle Ayala now with the serve. Silva saves it now. They got to get it over in three. Lee does over to Pykal. And here we go now with the serve as the shot goes by Teague to the middle of the court. Pykal now sends it to the back line. Nice save by Teague. Got to get over the net through the Lancers. Here comes Turk now trying to set up Pykal between two defenders for the point. Oh, what a shot by Vanessa Pykal.
And that's why she is one of the two captains for this Eagles volleyball club. The other one who we haven't mentioned, she's actually out of the game today, is Charmaine Judkins, the other captain.
Yeah, unfortunately, she's not here today. But they got the service back to the Eagles. They trail 24-23. But they got the serve as Lagaska will serve for the Eagles. Backline shot. Lancers trying to get it over. There they go. Over the net. Here come the Eagles saving it. Pykal between two defenders. And it goes off of another defender for the point. Couldn't see the number, but I think it was number 9, Vanessa Carrasco. So it went off her shoulders. So another good shot there by Vanessa Pykal.
And there, just too much force behind that shot for Vanessa Carrasco. Is there?
Off the serve now, it goes out of bounds as Lagaska tried to get it to the far side, and it just went short. So 25-24, you have to win by 2 here in volleyball. And here comes the serve now, Marissa Davis. Davis over the net, nice save by Silva. Set up now for Pykal, back line. Lance is now trying to set it up. Davis with a high shot over the net, and it doesn't go over. Davis has set it up a little bit too high, misread there by Nichols, and the point goes over the Eagles, and we're tied at 25.
And as you had mentioned, you got to win by 2, and it just seems that every time they come close, Hilltop does to either extending into a good lead or trying to close out the set. They've been unable to do it.
The captain with the serve now, as the Lancers trying to send it over. Nice dig there by Pykal. Over to Jordan now. Blocked there by the Lancers. Silver going to save it. They got to get it over. They do, the Eagles. Lancers setting up for the middle. Over the net. Back up. Nice block there by Nichols. Saved there by the Eagles. Send it over to the far side and in for the point. Oh, what a shot by Lagaska. Alexis Lagasa with the point.
And there, number 10, the senior outside hitter. Or I should say number 10, Alexis Lagaska. Well, she is a senior, so I didn't miss on that point. Able to get the shot in between the defender.
Pykal for the match point now. Here comes off the serve. Lancers miss in front. Miscommunication by Davis and Nicholas for the point. And with that, it's a 27-25 win for Olympian. And more importantly, they win the match 3-1. Wow, what a tremendous game, Ed. As both teams really played two spirited games 3 and 4, and it could have went either way. But it came up on the Olympian side, and they break their 6-game match losing streak.
They break it, and then I tell you right now, the momentum that's going to carry into a key matchup next Tuesday at Eastlake for the Eagles. It's going to be big. Do they, does the momentum carry them forward? Do they keep going? Are they able to pick up another win? Is going to be the question. But like you said, able to snap that 6-game losing streak has got to feel good for these girls. And for Hilltop, there's no rest because they've got to travel to Bonita Vista next Tuesday and face the Bonita Vista Barons.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to stay tuned for our PlayOnSports.com postgame show where we'll wrap up all the action in the postgame, and we'll also try to have an interview with our player of the game. That's coming up in just a few moments. Once again, the final score is 3-1. The Olympian Eagles have defeated the Hilltop Lancers. We thank you so much for joining us here on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
You got it? Welcome back to PlayOnSports.com's coverage of Metro Conference Volleyball. I'm joined by our player of the game, Vanessa Pykow of the Olympian Eagles. And Vanessa, I know you had a 6-match losing streak, so today had to be awful special.
Yeah, it was.
What was the feeling in the locker room before you came out for today's game?
Well, I try to make my team pumped, even though, you know, we've had a losing streak, but we still had it in us, and I believed in us, and it was really good.
And now you lost the first game, and then it seemed like you really came alive in that second, in the third and fourth games, and you really took it upon yourself, and you made a lot of plays, a lot of blocks and kills in the front of the net. Tell us how you picked up the game and how the match evolved for you.
Well, in the first game, I felt like I was there for my team, but then as the second game came, like as I was touching the ball more and more, I felt the energy, and then it was like spreading throughout my team. And I felt it, and we were all coming as one together. It was an amazing feeling.
Now those last 2 games, they were probably some of the best matches we've seen all year. And just give us a feel. How does it feel when you're playing on that, and it's really undecided? And what kind of anxiety or relief, or what's it feel like when you're playing those type of matches?
It's indescribable. I feel so much adrenaline when I play, and it's like I want the ball again. I always want to touch the ball. Like it's amazing. It's like I need to play. That's how I feel on the court.
Tell us about your setters, because they seem that they do a great job at getting you those balls in those games.
We've had a long journey together throughout our high school year, and like this last year and my senior year, we really connected. And it's just amazing how they can give me a good set, and then I could put it away for them.
Now, you got one more week left in the season. This is a big win, and how do you look at the final week of the season as a whole?
As a whole, it's kind of sad, but I think we just have to finish it strong, and I think we have it. We have it.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Vanessa, and
good
luck the rest of the way. This is the PlayOnSports.com player of the game, Vanessa Pykow of the Olympian Eagles. We'll be right back to wrap it up right after this message.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP. We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
Welcome back to San Diego, California, and PlayOnSports.com postgame show. I'm Thomas Conroy, along with Ed Alcaraz, as we just saw the Olympian Eagles defeat the Hilltop Lancers 3-1. And Ed, quick remarks on the outcome of that game.
I tell you, just if you were to look at the box score, it looks a lot closer than what it was in the beginning, in the first few sets. In closing it out, Hilltop kind of roared back a little bit too late against an Olympian team who got the momentum, kept it, and was able to come out of here with a victory and snap that 6-game losing streak.
And great senior leadership by Vanessa Pykow, the captain. We talked about it at the end. Her leadership, I thought, really just brought them into the W column.
It seemed whenever the momentum started to go to Hilltop, whenever there were points consecutively made by Hilltop, we called Pykow's name. It just seemed that she was able to come in, stop the bleeding, and get her team back on a roll. Great job by the senior in guiding this team to a victory.
Now Hilltop, they have a tough week coming up, and they lose a match that maybe they came in thinking they were going to win easily, and they just got routed in spirited play by an inexperienced but we think talented team.
I definitely have to give the nod of the athleticism. I said it throughout the match. to this Olympian team. They always seemed to be where the ball was going to land at some point or another. If you were the Hilltop Lancers, you weren't able to find the floor of the court easy. They weren't able to do it. And maybe you're right. Maybe they came in a little bit cocky. They had the better record. They had swept them in the first meeting. And unfortunately, it kind of turned around and bit them as they walk out of here without a victory.
And it's nice to see a team like Olympian maybe ending their season on a high note, and after the struggles of the season, especially enduring a 6-match losing streak, and you're kind of wishing, hey, we wish we had a couple more weeks to play together.
You definitely want to extend that season out, especially when the pluses and the positives kind of outweigh the negatives. And they've got a bright future with Miss Jordan there, who's just a freshman this year. We saw how talented she is going forward for 3 more seasons.
Well, that's going to do it. That's going to be a wrap from Olympian High School, where we saw the Olympian Eagles defeat the Hilltop Lancers 3-1. We'd like to thank you for joining PlayOnSports.com's volleyball coverage from San Diego. Be sure to check on PlayOnSports.com's website for more information and links to all our upcoming broadcasts. For our producer, Finn Pendergrass, for our videographer, Dan Stewart, and my partner, Ed Alcaraz, I'm Thomas Conway saying so long from Olympic High School, and thank you so much for joining us here on Play On Sports, your destination for high school sports. Good night.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.